Hello, reader. Thank you for joining us. This is the Christian Readers Community Podcast. On this podcast, we will be discussing with fellow readers and authors. You will never lack for good conversations and recommendations of Christian books. If you're a lover of literary works, fiction and non-fiction, then you have made the right stop here. Thank you for joining us again, and I hope you listen to every podcast that we get to put out for you. Thank you.
Welcome to the Christian Readers Community. I'm your host. My name is Faith. So with me today on the show is an author all the way from South Carolina. And she has a new release that I'm excited to talk about with her. And I had to invite her over here to come talk to us. Her name is Heidi Gray McGill. Welcome to the show, Heidi.
Thank you, Faith. It is an absolute pleasure to be a part of your program.
I'm so happy. Thank you so much because I've actually read several books written by you. And so when I contacted you, that was last month, and you told me that you released a new book, and you asked, okay, would you like to interview me about the ones you've read, or if you'd like to read the new one? And I was like, I can't say no to a new book.
Exactly.
I said, okay, I'm voting for the new one. You just have to send me the new one because I guess I can interview you next time about the old one. But today,
there you go.
Yay! So I finally was able to get a free copy from Heidi, and I read this book. It was wonderful. Oh my!
Thank you, Faith.
Just like the other books written by you, I've always enjoyed everything every book I've read from you. I've not read all your books, but the ones I've read, they've been wonderful. 4 books. This is going to be this is going to be the 4th one that I'm reading from you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Faith. Your words are very thoughtful.
All right. So, without wasting much time again, I'd like to say a little about you, tell our listeners about you. So, for those who do not know, Heidi Gray McGill.
Correct.
Forgive my accent. Yes. So, Heidi Gray McGill is an American Christian author who writes both historical and contemporary fiction. She's very good at both. At least there are some books you read, you'll be like, okay, I think this author should stick to this. But I think Heidi Gray has done so well for herself in these 2 genres. So she's an author.
Thank you.
So she's an author, and she's a wife, a mother, and a proud grandmother of that's 2 grandsons, right?
Right. 2 years old and 4 years old.
Ooh, and you like to build is that a caterpillar or a bridge or what that would have to fall down with a loud crash?
Yes. So the boys absolutely love building anything, and when they have built something, the most important part of building is making sure that it crashes when it falls down. It has to make a loud noise. So they love using monster trucks and dinosaurs and whatever they can to make the building fall loudly.
Oh, you've heard it. You've heard it from the. I don't know if I use this phrase if it's okay by you. But you've heard it from the horse's mouth. Is that is that okay?
Repeat it again.
You've heard it from the horse's mouth. You've heard it directly.
You've heard it from the horse's mouth. That is a very good idiom to use. Yes.
Okay. All right. So, thank you so much. And that's a little I can say about her. If you would like to know more about her and her books, you go to her website or you check her out on Goodreads, on Amazon, and on anywhere books are sold. You would see her her name and her biography. So let's quickly go straight into what we want to talk about today. But at the end of this program, at the end of this interview, I'm going to be asking you about the Christmas spirit over there. But let's go into the main course meal. So you wrote a new book, published it last 2 months. That was in October, and it's titled A Deeper Love.
Yes.
Tell us about the book, A Deeper Love.
Faith, this was a fun book to write. So it's my very first traditionally published book, and it is contemporary fiction. It has been a very fun journey. This book, I actually wrote it over a year ago, but that's how this traditional publisher works. And so I'm used to writing as an indie publisher, an independent published author. And so it's a little bit different. When writing this book, there were 8 other authors, and we came up with a group of pretend make-believe islands out in the South Pacific. They're somewhere between American Samoa and Hawaii is where we place these islands. Excuse me. And if you ever watched the movie Godzilla, there's a place called Skull Island, and it's about in that location if you're looking on a map. So we called them the Swameli Islands, and I apologize. I have a little bit of a cold, so I apologize for coughing. So we put them on the Swameli Islands, and each of us wrote something different, but we made it all a sense of community. So as a group of authors, a multi-author project, this was super fun. It was something that was engaging and learning to work with others in the author world. Often an author works by themselves. We live in our own little world, or sometimes literally in our own little world, and we just write without thought of others. But when you write in a multi-author project, you're learning to work with others. So this book deals with a young lady. Her name is Alicia, and she owns a scuba diving shop. She has inherited this from her Navy SEAL father, and she loves the work, but she is doing this to keep his memory alive. She's a strong businesswoman, and she has put her personal business, her desire to be a wife and a mother, she has put those things on hold because she wants the dream her father started out to come to fruition. Well, one of the best ways to make money in the scuba diving business is to have individuals who have lots of money and who are willing to spend it work and come to your scuba diving shop. So Daniel, who is a businessman from America, who is living in Hawaii, he comes to get away from it all. He truly comes from money, he makes money, and he knows how to spend money. And she doesn't know what he looks like or what his personality is, but she's dealt with his type before. So she puts up this little blinder of, well, he is the type of man she expects him to be. And Daniel turns out to be completely opposite. He is a firm believer in Jesus Christ, and that just cements her heart even more to him. There are several characters in this story who help make it fun. One of them is a young girl named Tutu, and she has an absolute huge heart, and she helps cement this story together. So one of the things she loves is A Little Mermaid, and it's something that my girls and I enjoyed when they were growing up. And so part of the reason that I pulled this story in there is to connect with readers of different generations. Another person that you'll meet in this story is Tug, and he is the boat captain that Alicia uses on her scuba diving trips, but he's also the best friend of her deceased father, and he has become her best friend as well. When you get to the end of this story, A Deeper Love, you will find that there is a hint of Tug in the next one. And so sure enough, next October of 2024, my second book in that series releases, and it is called In Deep Waters, and it's Tug's story, and it is just as exciting.
we'll come to that one in a bit, because I had plans to ask you the question about that
Very
one.
good.
Yes. So we're going to come to that one. But I read this book, like I said earlier, and one good thing you did, one thing I really love about this is that you told the story from the aspect of Alicia, and also you told the story from the side of Alicia and the other main character in the book, Daniel.
Yes.
So, and one thing I love about your book is how you're able to blend faith and romance, how you're able to beautifully blend these two in your book. So tell us, what inspired this story?
Oh, Faith, that's a fun question. So there's a couple different things. One, I am a scuba diver. My husband and I have been diving for about 20 years. He is an extreme scuba diver. He likes to go in small caves and underwater holes, and that is not for me. He doesn't mind black water, dark water, fast water, cold water. He does not mind. I love the beautiful fish and the coral. I like to see all the colors. So part of the reason I chose this story was because it was something that I know. Scuba diving, it became a challenge for me. I am losing my sight. I am legally blind. I'm down to 5% of my peripheral vision. And so learning to explain what I have seen that someone else may have never seen became a challenge for me. And so that was another reason why I chose this, because so few people, several have snorkeled, but not everyone has been scuba diving. And there was a quote in the book that said, snorkeling is like looking at a picture from a distance, whereas scuba diving is like experiencing it in 3D. And that is so true. And I wanted my readers to be able to experience that same thing. So,
yeah, I did. I experienced it. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Yeah, go ahead. You wanted to say something.
Sorry. No. It's okay. I appreciate that you said that, because that is something that authors often don't get feedback on. I know you probably have experienced this as well in your own writing, is that reviews are wonderful, but it isn't often that someone gives you those words of feedback that help you know that you met your goal of what you set out to do. So another goal that I had while writing this, as you said, was I was doing my best to keep a faith message involved in this book, woven throughout this book, while also having that romantic theme. So, Faith, this can be a challenge. In today's society, romance and love have become a tangible thing. In other words, it might be the clothing that a woman wears that a man can see. It may be a touch, a feeling, the passion that people experience when they even just hold hands or kiss. And those things are tangible, and that some readers today have this new expectation that is the only way to experience romance is when things are what might be considered hot and heavy. But I disagree. I think romance and true love come from inside your heart, and you see the characteristics of a person and you fall in love with their heart as much as you fall in love with them. And so it's a challenge to make a book a romance story without making it steamy. And so, again, I challenged myself to make this book something that a female would just swoon over, but a male would not go, oh my goodness, and roll his eyes. It's a challenge, Faith, but it's fun.
Wow. Okay. Going through this book, A Deeper Love. I read the challenges. I followed Alicia as she went through her challenges. I followed Daniel, experiencing his challenges with him as well. So And I got to that point where Daniel had to make a decision, as well as Elisha. They both had to come to a decisive time where it's either you can't have both. You either choose one or the other. And I saw what it did to their lives, going forward. So I'd like to ask this question: what is the message that you're trying to pass through, that you're trying to pass to your readers as they read this book? What do you want them to get from this book?
Faith, that's actually a really strong question, because when I am writing, I do have a story in my mind, but I first always sit down and think of, what is my spiritual theme? What is it that I want the reader to learn through this book? Because if I go ahead and simply write this story from just a perspective of this is how things need to go, then I don't always have the opportunity to just very easily put that thread of faith into what it is that I'm writing. So the spiritual theme of this book is, it's better to give than receive. And the reason this is important in this particular story is because all of Daniel's life, he has given into the expectations of what his family and his father want from him. He has met every qualification that his dad has asked him to. He's done what he has needed to do. And so he feels like he has given all of his life because he's sacrificed himself. But what he doesn't recognize is that he has not given of himself. He has not given of his heart. He has not given away the one thing that is the most important to him, and that is his heart and his love for another. And so at the end of this book, he has to make a decision of who is he going to allow to rule his life. Is it going to be his father, or is it going to be God, who has given him a pretty clear direction of where he needs to go?
So tell us, what about Elisha? What inspired her own side of the story? What inspired her own side of the story? Yeah.
Faith, I'm not really sure how to answer that, but I can give you an example, and that would be you. So you are a young woman who has goals and desires, and you are tackling them. This podcast is a perfect example. Being an author, and writing your story is another great example. You have stepped out in faith, and you have pursued and tackled something that some would never even try, let alone accomplish, but you've done it. And so every woman has this ability inside of them. Whether we actually do those things or not is one thing, but Elisha is doing this because she's wanting to fulfill her father's dream, and it needs to become her own. And as an individual, I think this is how I was growing up. My spiritual walk of faith to becoming a Christ follower was very unique. I grew up in a pastor's home, and I knew God's word. I understood what God desired of me, and I knew his laws. And it was not difficult for me to actually follow those laws, because my personality is that I'm not rebellious by nature. And so if my dad asked me to do something, I did it because I knew it was the right thing to do, and I wanted to be obedient. And that is very interesting, because as I grew, I continued to grow in my walk with Christ. At 9 years old, I remember asking Jesus to come into my heart to forgive me of my sins. But when I was in college, I realized that every time I would date a guy, I would realize I would kind of transfer this loyalty I had to my dad to this boyfriend, and it was not healthy. So
Yeah.
when I was 32 years old, Faith, so I asked Jesus in my heart at 9. I have no question in my mind that Jesus loves me and that he had accepted me and had adopted me as his child at 9 years old. But when I was 32, I was asked to mentor a brand new Christian. Now, Faith, she was nothing like any other woman I had ever met. I had not been through any of the things that she had gone through. She was very worldly, and she challenged me. And it was at that point, at that age in my life, that I realized all my life I had been obedient and I had done the right things, but I had done them through works, and I had done them to serve my own Father, not my Heavenly Father. And I had a major heart change shift. And so you can only put so much into a book, but this is what happens to Alicia. Alicia has done what she has felt has been important all of her life, of doing what she believes her Father would want from her, instead of what does her Heavenly Father want from her. So that was my basis for that character.
All right. I'd like to ask you this next question about experience. Now, like I mentioned earlier, I've read 4 of your books. I've read 4 of your books. Mm-hmm. There's one thing I notice about the characters in your book. By the way, they are unique. None of them, I have not come across any cliche though, Like, let's say, your characters are always going through one problem, the same book, the same storyline. No. But what I'm saying is that, I think in a nutshell, you write about people who have a level of insufficiency, who are going through a level of insufficiency. They don't feel sufficient in themselves. Mm-hmm. There's always one thing missing. There's always one thing they feel like, this should be corrected in my life, but I don't know how to go about it. I remember the historical fiction, and the other ones dial E for endearment, and dial P for perfect, and now a deeper love. Okay, so I would like to ask you a question. Writing about these characters, because at the end, I always see them, arriving at a place of healing, a progressive healing. It's not like, even the way you write it, you didn't just put it that, everything suddenly became all good, all nice, but you made it that these people's progress and healing would be progressive. These people's healing, would be progressive, and this is what they will continue to encounter as time goes on, as time goes on, and as they continue to grow with each other. So I'd like to ask, how much of an experience did you draw from your life to write these books, or did you just learn from others? Not when you say you learn from other people's lives, or did you just get? Is this part of you, or you learn from others, or is it a combination of both?
First of all, thank you for the compliment that I am able to make a character in your mind progress through an insufficiency through a sufficiency in Christ. That is a very high compliment. So thank you for that. I have learned in writing that you do need to put a part of yourself in there. However, I just wrote a little flash fiction about a woman who has come through an abusive relationship and now divorced. Now, I haven't experienced any of these things. So in that short flash fiction that I wrote, there is none of me in there. But in my other books, yes, there is always a part of me somewhere. Faith, I have learned that when I am writing a story, I have to know my characters. So if a close family member were to pass away and you were to write a eulogy for that individual, it would be difficult because of your emotions, but you would have a tremendous amount of backstory that you could say and tell about that person in a eulogy. But if you do not know that person, they are a stranger to you and someone asks you to write a eulogy, it is very difficult. You can write cliches and pat answers and say, he was a kind person, he always smiled at me, but those things have no depth. So when I am writing a story, I find it very important to know my characters. I sat down, excuse me, especially with Alicia, I sat down and I wrote out all the things that she went through that never made it into this book. I wrote about what she was like at 9 years old when her mom died and the emotions that she went through. I wrote about how growing up without a mom, when she wanted to go on her first date and she didn't know what to wear, and her dad was military and he wasn't able to help her. And I wrote all of these different things so that I knew Alicia, so that she had been my friend for a very long time. And when you know someone that well, they don't have to say to you, I'm having a bad day. You know it because of their emotions and their expressions. And so when writing the book, then it was easy for me to visualize what expression Alicia would have on her face and then therefore be able to put it on a piece of paper. So for this particular book, there is no single character that has any of my personal characteristics or my personal experiences, except for the fact that I am a scuba diver and I understood that underwater world.
All right. My next question is this. How do you title your book? Do you maybe start with this title and at the middle of the book you say, no, I think this title is no longer suitable for this book. I'll get something else. So how do you title your book?
I'm over here laughing because that is by far the hardest part of the entire book. Oh my goodness. Oh, it is so hard. And I don't know how people come up with these clever books. It just, it blows me away. So because this is a series, because I knew all three of my books needed to have some type of similar title, needed to have to do with water or the islands, I just kind of brainstormed some different things. But it, like you said, I had a couple ideas that maybe these would work. None of them I even remember because they were that unmemorable. And then by the time I had got to the end, I realized that because we are diving deep into a relationship and not just staying on the surface in this particular book, that a deeper love was a better fit.
So one last question before I will ask you about the next book you're working on. As a writer, I know you said earlier that writing this book was fun for you, but as a writer, I've come to understand that there are certain areas of writing or publishing a book that some authors, struggle with. It could be the writing, the researches, the plotting of the story, the editing, and the name it. So through all these steps, what was the most difficult, or which area of this story did you struggle with? And not just with this book, but all your books. Is there anyone that pose this huge challenge to you when you're trying to publish, when you're going through the publication process?
There is absolutely one thing that comes to the surface every single time, and it is my time management. So when I am writing, I would love to be able to say I write 1,500 words a day, but that is not true. So there are many things that an author has to do, and it's not just putting words on paper. And we all know about the editing and the going back and making sure our words are concise and that we don't have any fluff in there that doesn't need to be there. Those kinds of things are common knowledge for someone who is just even starting the author process. But there is a whole new realm of things that need to be done. And part of that is marketing. You can put a book, anybody can put a book up on Amazon. It does not matter the quality of the book. As long as it meets the specifications, it can go up there. But selling it is another thing. Getting the word out to readers who match your criteria for reading your genre. So I'm pretty specific, Faith. My Christian historical fiction and my Christian contemporary fiction or romantic rom-coms, they are very overtly Christian. So for me to just put my book under historical fiction or contemporary romance would not fit every reader out there. Someone in contemporary romance may not care for the faith values that are included in my books, and so it would give me a low review when they finished my book. So you have to make sure you not only, like I said earlier, know your characters, but you also need to know your readers. You have to know your audience, and this is pretty important. So when I am trying to put a book out there, I spend a lot of time connecting with individuals in certain reader groups on Facebook, in platforms on like Instagram, through blog posts of people who are reading my blogs, through podcasts such as this that has a Christian emphasis, through my newsletter of individuals who have signed up because they enjoy my type of story. And those things take a tremendous amount of time, and it often feels like they are the most important thing. But the truth is, if I don't have a book to sell, those things don't matter at all. So my time and how I manage it, of ensuring that every day I am getting something down on paper, or computer at this point, is very important. And I often find that I allow other things to take over that time. So it's pretty clear that I need to make sure that I am doing the main thing first.
Wow. So your own challenge in writing is time management, because
Absolutely.
really I agree with you. There's so much for an author to do. There's just so many things that an author has to do on a daily basis.
Yes.
And I think I'm going to really agree with you on that, because really time, sometimes it looks like 24 hours in a day is not enough.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly right.
You just want more. Or sometimes you just wish, how I wish I could be a Superman. So I won't get easily tired. So I won't have to spend these hours that I was supposed to use in writing. I won't spend it sleeping. Yes. But no problem. The Lord is your strength.
That's right.
Yeah, the Lord is your strength. So before we go, I'd like to ask you, could you tell us a little about the next book you're working on in this series?
I'd like to know. Yes, I would. So that is called In Deep Waters, and it's Tug's story, the one who is the boat captain. Tug is in his later years of life. He is about 72, and he knows that he should retire, but this is his life and it's his love, and he has always said that he would be there for Alicia, and Alicia needs him. So God's going to have to do some pretty miraculous things to make it possible for Tug to, number one, accept himself the way God made him, and two, give him the freedom to pursue what he wants out of life. And so it's a very exciting book. I actually enjoyed it much more than A Deeper Love, and that was a good book. It was a fun one to write. But this book is... I'm getting up in my years in life too. We just moved into a 55 plus community, and I am watching this generation of individuals from their 50s to their 80s who are still very active, very excited about what God would have them do. They have not finished life. They have not put it on a shelf and said, this is all there is for me. They are still seeking God's best. And so that's what I've done for Tug. And it comes in a very unusual and exciting way for him. And so I won't give away any more of the story, but it's one of those that you will want to put on your to be read list on the Goodreads and the Book Club when that one comes out next year.
Okay, when is it coming out?
It's
What
October 31st of 2024. So every one of the books in the series, all 9, release from February to October, and so we just do marketing on the other months of the year.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's amazing. And yeah, I'll definitely be looking forward to reading that one as well. So yeah, thank you so much. I would like let's say for someone who is listening, where could they go to get your book?
Yes. So, Faith, probably the easiest way is through Amazon. Following me on Amazon is helpful because then I have had twice when Amazon has wanted to price match my book, and they have lowered it, and I didn't even know it, but my readers did because they got notifications. So when you follow your favorite authors on Amazon, you do receive those notifications of when a book is on sale, and that's very, very helpful. So that's a great way. But Faith, I have some really exciting news. So you mentioned the book that you read, Dial E for Endearment. And that was my very first attempt at writing a contemporary romance. And it was a great story. It is truly a short novella, but it has a blind main character. And in that story, I went ahead and wrote a lot of my own personal stories. Well, I am excited to announce that book is just now being put as audiobook. It's being narrated. But what's really exciting, Faith, and this just makes goosebumps, is it's being narrated by a blind narrator.
Wow.
Her name is Annie Donalon, and she has been blind since birth. She has read my book with Braille, and she is making it into an audiobook, and it's fabulous, absolutely fabulous.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree. Very beautiful. Amazing, wonderful, awesome.
Yes. So the other way that you can locate me is if you will go to YouTube and type in author Heidi Gray McGill. I should be the only one there. You can look for me there and subscribe, but then also hit that bell, because there is an excerpt up of that book right now. But when that book becomes live for anyone that's on YouTube, they can listen to that book for free. That is my gift to the community. And I have been so blessed and so held up by the blind community, and it's just one of those things I wanted to do to give back. And so I would encourage any of your friends and listeners to subscribe to my YouTube channel, make sure they hit that bell, and then when that book does come live, they will be the first to know.
Wow, I'm definitely going to subscribe after this interview. I'll definitely be one of those who will be subscribing to your YouTube channel.
So another way that you can find me is I am on Goodreads, and I am on BookBub, and I'm also on another platform called All Author. And all three of those are great places to read the descriptions of the book and read other individuals' reviews of the book. But one other place to find me is on my website. And you will find there things about me. You will find my statement of faith, and you will find a blog post. And I really try to share my heart in that blog post and give something to my readers that would encourage them. I have a mantra, and that is choose joy. And no matter my circumstances, I always want to choose joy. And so that blog post is something that I try to do right to make people understand the importance of choosing joy in every situation, no matter their circumstances. So you can find me at on the web at HeidiGrayMcGill.com.
Okay. Thank you so much for giving out this medium that anyone listening would be able to reach out to you or visit and get to learn and know more about you. And I do hope you keep writing. But before you go, there was this bonus chapter I read at the back of your book. That's after when I finished A Deeper Love, just at the back, and the main character's name The main character's name was Faith, and I was like, "Ooh, my namesake! I'll definitely read this." So, which title? What's the title of that one?
All right. So this book is written by Amanda True, Tru. She's the first one to write in the series. So when this, the second year of the Swamele Island series starts up next February, you will be able to get Amanda's book. I read the very first book that she wrote. It was exceptionally well written. It is a time slip. And I just loved it. Had a little bit of a mystery to it. And it is a little bit of how I walked and looked at the way my island was made so that I could follow what Amanda was doing. So when her book comes out, she is one that you will want to get as well. But all the books in the series are available, and they are available on Kindle Unlimited. So if you are a subscriber to Kindle Unlimited, you can easily binge read all of those books over the holidays.
Oh, you've heard it all from Heidi Gray McGill. Thank you so much for accepting my invitation to be interviewed on this platform. I'm so grateful, and I do hope that if I invite you next time, you'd be willing to come.
Absolutely. It would be my pleasure. And Faith, thank you so much, not only for the opportunity to share about my books and who I am as a sister and daughter of Christ, but I am so thankful for your friendship. This is the first time that we have been able to talk. And so it's just been lovely getting to know you a little bit more. And I'm excited to see all that God has in store for you.
Thank you. Me too. This is my first time of hearing your voice. We've been corresponding via email all this while. I think this is about a year now, and it's been wonderful to get to hear your voice finally, and I'm so happy. Thank you so much, and I do hope you keep writing and writing for God's glory. And I pray that God will continue to use you to bless us, to teach us life important lessons as you've been doing. Thank you so much. And dear listeners, this is where we'll be drawing the curtain for today. So until I come your way again next time, I would like to say remain safe, be blessed, and bye-bye, everyone. Thank you.